I am Alotencio and we will present here our bingo lineup project for the prelims. So first, we have here the import Java. Import Java is used to read the user's input. Next, we also used scanner here. Scanner is used to read the code that the user will input. The next one is the int row size and call size. Row size and call size represent the size of the game board, which is a 6x7 grid. Row has 6 and columns have 7. Next, we have here the char matrix. Char matrix declared 2D character name matrix to store the game board state where each element represent a cell. And we also have used the boolean as the main game loop, and after that a while loop is also used. A while loop is used for the menu that is used to represent this that is under the highlights. After that, an int option is used for the user is prompted to enter their choices.
I'm John Asuncion. I'm gonna explain how to initialize the game board. So for the line 24 to 25, we use the nested loop for this condition. A loop inside the loop or an inner loop that comes during the body of an outer loop is known as a nested loop. And for the next, in the line 26, matrix row call equals dash. In this dash line, it will represent as a space on the game board. So the next is printing the initial game board. For the line 31 to line 37, this will be the printing the initial of the game board. And the first is the outer loop to iterates through each row to print in the board. So in the line 31, this is for the outer loop to iterates through each row to print the board. And next is the inner loop for iterates through each column to print the board. In the line 33, this will be used for the inner loop to iterates through each column to print the board. And the next is the system print line. In this line 37, we use it to move to the next line after printing each row.
Good day everyone, I'm Jennelyn Besa. So today I'm going to explain the line 44. In these lines, these are responsible for displaying messages and gathering input from users while playing a two-player game. In the line 47, this line of code is asking the user to input a number that represents their choice for a column. The scanner.nextInt function allows the program to wait for the user's response and store it in a variable called column choice. This variable will be used later in the program to determine which column the user wants to interact with. Essentially, this line is prompting the user to make a selection from a list of columns provided by the program. In the line 48, this line of code is just a simple adjustment made in a program so that we can accurately access data stored in an array using its correct index number. The next line is the line 52. This section of code ensures that only appropriate choices can be made when selecting where to place pieces or values into your matrix structure. And in the line 54, this code can help identify where new data can be added to a specific column without overwriting existing information.
Hi, my name is Marc Andrei Apurado, and I will explain the line 60. Matrix square bracket row, square bracket column choice is equal to current player. This means once the lowest empty row is found, it places the player symbol or current player moves in that position in the matrix. In line 65 to 70, this matrix will print the updated game board of the game.
Greetings everyone, I'm Stephanie D. Aljo and I'm going to present the switch player condition in which the program will define if the player's turn is X or O. In line 144, this checks if the current player is X, and in the line 145, if the condition is true, it means it's currently player X turn. In line 146, this checks if the current player is O, and in the line 147, if the condition is true, it means it's currently player O's turn. And that's how switching player works.
So I'm Wesly Almajeda and I'm going to explain the line 74. So this line is the outer loop that iterates through each row of the code. And for this line 75 is the inner loop that iterates through each column of the code but stops early to ensure that there are enough remaining columns for a potential winning sequence of 4. And for this line 76 to 83 is the inside the inner loop. There is an if statement checking if 4 consecutive elements in this same row are equal to the current player. If the condition is true, it means the player won horizontally, and the code will print a victory message, sets game 1 to true, and breaks out of the loop. And for this line 85 to 85 is the outer loop also contains a check to break out of the outer loop if the game has already been won, avoiding unnecessary iterations.
Hi everyone, my name is Lourence Balgos, and also you can call me Lou. So what I'm going to do right now, or what I'm going to explain to you, is a condition of winning vertically, okay? So please sit back and relax and listen to what I'm going to say, okay? Thank you very much. Okay, so I'm going to proceed right now. So I'm going to highlight this one. As you can see, this is in a for loop, okay? A for loop consists of initialization, an integer, yes, data type integer, variable call is equals to 0. So we initialize that our variable call is equals to 0. Okay, so please retain it in your memory, and please listen carefully and follow what I'm going to say. Okay, so I'm going to proceed with this one, which is the condition for this loop. Okay, so the condition is a variable call again, less than call size, variable call size. As we've initialized from the beginning, our call size value is 7, which is an integer data type. Okay, so please don't be confused furthermore. Okay, so on the next one we have increment. So what is increment? This increment is called plus plus. So it means that the value of call keeps rising by 1 if it meets the condition. Okay, if it meets the condition. So on our end, if we initialize our call variable equals to 0 and our call size is equals to 7, then um uh, the condition for this is 0 to 6, right? The value of call must be 0 to 6 only, so that it will proceed to increment, or so it will proceed to keep increasing gradually by 1 the value of call variable. Okay, so we will be proceeding on the next for loop. Yes, next for loop. So it means we have nested for loops. Okay, nested for loops. On this for loop, as we can see, we have another data type, which is another integer. Okay, but the difference is right now our variable is variable rows equals to 0. Okay, equals to 0. So we initialize that the rows data type is integer equals to 0, right? You got it? Yes, I hope you got it. So let's proceed to the next one, which is the condition for this loop, or the condition for this for loop within a for loop. Okay, as we can see here, another variable rows. Yes, another variable rows. But the difference is less than or equal to row size. To inform you, our row size is 6. It's 6. 6. Our call size is 7. Yes, 7. So that's the difference. Our row size is 6. Our call size is 7. And in the preceding line, we can see -4. So that's the condition for this loop. Okay. So our row size is 6 minus 4 is equals to, of course, 2. So we have the condition for this must be 0 to 2 only. Okay. So it must be less than or equal to 2. So the condition is, so the value, the must have value for this variable must be 0 to 2. Okay. On the next line is, we can see here that it's variable rows plus plus. So another one. This is an increment code. Okay, rows plus plus. So so the variable rows will keep increasing by 1 gradually if it meets the condition. Okay. So within this for loop, as we can see, we have this conditional statement if code. If. Okay, so the condition for this conditional statement is the array matrix rows, variable call as so our variables rows our variable call depends on this loops. Okay, the value of this loops. Okay, because the value of these variables within the loop will keep changing as the loops, or as the for loops goes by. Okay, if the for loops satisfies the condition. Okay, so as we can see here, array matrix variable rows variable call is equal to current player. Our current player is also a variable. This is a variable. Okay, as we can see here on the top, we have variable with a data type car. Current player variable is equals to x. Okay, so so let's proceed. We can see on our end, on my end, on your end, that there is double and end, right? but this only means and in coding. Okay, so in order for this conditional statement to be satisfied, this this one and this block of codes, and also another block of codes and another block of codes must satisfy what is the condition given. Okay, so this block of codes, this all block of codes must satisfy the condition of this conditional statement in order to proceed with the next line, which is line number 98, system that out that print line, because it's print ln. Okay, so don't forget about that. And within that system that out that print line is player, a printed player plus variable current player. It depends on who's winning the game. Okay, it's either X or O. Okay, and another one, printed wins. Okay, if this conditional statement has been finally satisfied, it also proceeds with the number with the line number 99. Variable game1 is equals to true. So right now our variable boolean data type game1 will finally have a value of true, because we initialize from the top or from the beginning of our block of codes that our boolean data type game1 is equals to false. Okay, so after the variable game1 ops finally have the value of true, it will also proceed with the break codes. So what is the purpose of this? So what is the purpose of break? Break with semicolon, break semicolon. Okay, so the only purpose of this is ending. Ending is breaking, ending or breaking the loop for this conditional statement. Okay, because due to this, it finally satisfies the condition. It will proceed with another if conditional statement. As we can see, we finally got the boolean game1 equals to true. So this value or this conditional statement has finally got the value of true. So if game1 is true, then it will break or it will end the loop for this one. Okay, so you can see here it will end the loop for this one, for this outside for loop. Okay, so for further explanation, either X or O wins the game if they finally got sequence, a 4 sequence in vertical. Okay, example, row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4, and in column 1 we can see that X, 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 X. So we have a 4 sequenced X in a column in 4 different rows. So who is the winner? It's obviously X. So X is the winner of this game. Okay. So I am going to explain it to you further. I am going to show you how the game works. I am going to show you the mechanics of the game, and I am also explaining to you later on the benefits of this game. Okay, thank you so much, and please continue watching our video. Okay? So that's all. Thank you for watching my part, and I'm going to proceed to another one. Thank you.
Hi, greetings everyone. My name is Gershan and I will present to you the win condition or checking for win condition through diagonally in our Connect 4 project. So let's first start with the diagonally from bottom left to top right. So in checking for the win condition of diagonally from bottom left to top right, in this condition, it starts from the bottom row and iterates upward. Um, Within each row, it iterates through diagonals from bottom left to top right. So for each diagonal, it checks if the consecutive cells contains the symbol of the current player. If such sequence is found, it indicates the player has won diagonally from bottom left to top right, and the game ends through that. So basically, this loop reads how a player can win from diagonal, um, particularly from bottom left to top right. So as we can see in this, for int rows is equals to row size. So what is our row size? Our row size is 6. So row size minus 1 would be 5. So the condition is rows. So 5 is greater than or equal to 3. So it satisfies the condition, so it is true. And then after it satisfies the condition, it will go to this, and then as long as the condition is met, it will decrement. So the rows would be 4 and then 3, and if it is 2, then it won't satisfy anymore the row size condition. And moving on to the call would be equals to 0. So call or 0 is less than or equal to our call size. So what is our call size? Our call size is 7. 7 minus 4 would be 3. So 0 is less than or equal to 3 is a satisfaction to our code. So call plus plus, and then it will go up for as long as it satisfies the condition. So in this part, it will show repeat the diagonal check for the next 3 positions following the current one. So let's say that our symbol is at row 1, column 1. So it will read that, and then it will read the preceding term diagonally from bottom left to top right of it. So if the game is won, and then the win condition is met through diagonally from bottom left to top right, and then the player who won that, or the symbol who got the connect 4, will be the winner of the game. So the statement will be satisfied and it will break. Now, next is from top left to bottom right. So from top left to bottom right, just imagine this. I will start from top left to bottom right. Top left to bottom right. So for int rows would be equal to 0, and then rows would be less than or equal to row size minus 4. So again, what is our row size? Our row size is equal to 6. And 6 minus 4 would be equal to 2. And if we start our rows for 0, then 0 is less than or equal to 2. It would satisfy the condition. And then I will go to the inner loop. And then for as long as it satisfies the condition, it will continue to iterate. So going on to the column, our column would be equal to 0 at its first declaration, and then so 0 would be less than or equal to call size minus 4. So again, our call size would be equals to 7, and 7 minus 4 would equal to 3. So 0 is less than or equal to 3. It satisfies our condition, and the column would increment, and for as long as it satisfies the condition, so for example 0 would be less than or equal to 3 it still satisfies, and what if 4 is less than or equal to 3? So it doesn't satisfy the condition anymore. Thus, the condition will proceed to the top and then rerun again. That's how a nested for loop works. So the same as the other one earlier, this would be how it would read the positioning of each symbol. It would read such as X and O's diagonally from top left to bottom right. So if the condition is met once again and the game is won from that symbol or from that player. So we can see various scenarios wherein a player can win from bottom left to top right, and from top left to bottom right. And players can win if they met such condition along with meeting such condition from vertically and diagonally. So that's how you win this game. And thank you for listening to my short discussion about checking win condition diagonally, particularly from bottom left to top right and from top left to bottom right. Greetings everyone and have a great day.
Dangal greetings everyone. My name is Bejay Bacilonia and I'm gonna explain how the closing statement works. Else if option equals to, if the user chooses to exit the game. Next line, play again equals false. If the condition sets the variable to false, the game loop will exit. Else, if the user chooses invalid option, this part will execute. It prints a message saying the user entered an invalid option and telling the user to try again. And this line, it will print after the game is over. And this line, scanner close, it will close the scanner to avoid resources leaks.
Dangal greetings po, Sir Jennelyn. My name is Lemuel Alvarez. I'm gonna present the summary of this code. First things first is the menu bar. This one. Ito po ay para sa isang user para makapili siya kung ano po yung gusto niyang piliin. Kung magpe-play game ba siya or kung mag-exit ang game. Tapos naman po, nag-declare po kami ng while loop para po makontrol yung buong para makontrol yung buong game. Yung buong Tapos gumamit po kami ng 2D array na car, tapos ang data type niya po ay car ang data type, tapos ang array name ay matrix. Tapos po, yung row size po ay nakapix po siya, tsaka yung column size. Yung row size po niya ay 6 at yung column size niya po ay 7. Sunod po ay nag-initialize po kami ng board. Ito po. Nag-initialize po kami ng board. Ito po, gumamit po kami ng nested for loop. At yung magre-represent ng space po namin ay ito pong dash. At yung pag-print po namin ng game board ay kailangan po na itong system.out.print sa dulo para po mag-print sa next row. Kagaya po na ito. Pag tinarate po natin, ayan po, nag-print po. Pero pagka wala po siya, is ganito po ang mangyayari. Ayan po, ganyan lang po. Self-to-wid lang po. Kaya kailangan po siya na meron system print line para po mag-move to the next line after printing each row po. Tapos, ito pong game loop po. Dito nag-declare po kami ng current player is equals to X po. At boolean na game 1 is equals to false po. Dito po mag-i-start yung pag-drop ng piece. Magda-drop ang piece ang isang current player sa napili niyang column na 1 to 7. Tapos po is gumawa rin po kami ng condition para po mag-switch yung player po kapag po Pag tapos na tumira si player X, ang sumunod na po dun is si player O. Tapos ang sumunod na po nun is ipiprint niya po yung updated na board, which is yung nakatira na yung kung sino man yung current player, kung nakatira na. Tapos naman po at sumunod naman po is yung pag-check ng winning condition sa horizontal, condition vertically, diagonally, at saka po diagonally from bottom left to top right, at top left to bottom right po na diagonally. And then po, ito pong break para po ma-exit yung mga outer loop. Lahat po yan meron. Kada win condition ng vertical, horizontal at diagonally. Para po ma-exit yung pinaka-outer. And then po, ito pong S is para po magpiprint, lalabas po ito kapag po ang user ay pumili ng hindi ang pinili niya po ay hindi 1 to 7. Dapat po 1 to 7 lang. Magpiprint po ito kapag hindi siya pumili sa 1 to 7 na column. Ito naman pong else if kapag ang user pinili 2, which is yung exit the game nga, mag-determinate na po automatic yung program at mag-print na po itong thank you message. And then kung else naman po is kapag ang user ay pumili 1 or 2 lang pagpipilian, pagka pumili siya ng 3, automatic mo mag-print ang invalid message. And ito pong scanner close is kailangan po to avoid resources leak po. And that's how the program works. Thank you, sir.